Let me do this real quick. Not many of my physical science students take advantage of this, but every now and then I have somebody who does, particularly for those of you who have attendance issues. I record all of my chemistry classes, and I've gotten really good about recording all of my physical science classes. And I post it to the website. So if you're somebody who's out a lot and you want to keep up, go to the school website. Now, all of the teachers are required to keep up a website. A lot of people don't, though. If you go to the school website and you go to Our People, you can either go to the staff directory or you can go to the science. Science is probably easier. And if you go to science and you go down to Ms. Wall's website and click there, you can get to mine. And the only one that would really be important is homework. If you click on homework, it's always updated. Okay. So if you go to one of them, like let's just say this one. Okay. So it's got the homework, and I forgot to do the video that day. So it's got the homework sheet that's there. It's one of the days that I have the homework. Okay. But if I go back, it's not what I meant to do. But if I go to, let's say chemistry for that day, because I know I had the video. All right. All right. There's the homework. There are the sheets. And there's the hyperlink video. Okay.
Somebody out?
We're not going to listen to me. All right. But there would be the video. Okay. So that's always available to you. All right. Everybody see that? But see how they're all labeled and listed there? So today I'll put physical science and chemistry right there in that spot. Okay. Now I'm just telling you it's there as a resource, particularly for those of you who may or may not have attendance trouble. Not saying you have to check it, just that it's there. All right. So right now, y'all's class is recording. So later today, I'll post your class video in that spot for physical science. All right, so we're going to talk about measurement. Only because over the course of the next roughly 9 weeks-ish or so, we spend a great deal of time working word problems. We're going to start with density over the next 3-ish days. We're going to do area, volume, and density. And then we're going to move into motion. All right. How many of y'all remember talking about speed, velocity, acceleration, or momentum? Okay. So if you remember that, that's where we're going to start. We're going to talk about the difference between distance and displacement with that. And then we're going to go into Newton's laws. Anybody remember Newton's laws from middle school? First, second, third law? You know, I'm not asking if you remember what they are. You remember talking about them. Okay. Then we're going to go into that. And then we're going to do like work and power and simple machines. Simple machines is usually stuff people remember. You remember the 6 types of simple machines and talking about that? Okay, we're going to learn how to calculate IMA and AMA and efficiency with that stuff. All right, my point in all of this is we're going to do a lot of math with all of these topics. And because we're going to do so much math with all of these topics, how many of y'all like math? I got one lone hand out there. It's usually what happens in physical science. I don't usually get a lot of hands going up without liking math. Usually I get, I suck at math, Miss Wall. I didn't do good in math 3, Miss Wall. All right? Oh, it was terrible. Okay? So, we've got to get some basic ability to work some math problems. The good news is, physical science is nothing like math 3. All right? So don't panic on me that it's like math 3, because it's not. All right? If you can do basic math 1, move some variables around and plug in some numbers, we're okay with physical science. So don't panic on me. All right, but the point in this is, if we can figure out the units that go with some things, it helps us with the word problems as we cruise through the semester. Okay, so that's why I start with this topic. So first of all, what is measurement? Measurement is a unit of defined size. So, somewhere back in your early days, somebody told you that 1 foot was equal to what? Yeah, somebody told you that. And in your head, you have a visual of what a foot looks like. Most of you would probably visualize a ruler. Somebody told you a dozen was equal to what? 12. If you walked into a bakery right now and asked for a dozen donuts, you would know if you walked out with 10, somebody did what? They cheated. Yeah, exactly. You would know you didn't get what you were supposed to get or what you paid for. You would know you were wrong, okay? Because you learned that that was the unit of defined size way back, probably about kindergarten, first grade. You knew that if you got a dozen cupcakes, there better be 12 in that box when you got to kindergarten and opened that box up, because that's what you paid for, okay? That was the unit of defined size. Now, we want to translate that into a little more sophistication in physical science. So, if we think about English units and metric units, okay? Give me something that would fall in the English units. Can anybody think of something that's English? Okay, I'm thinking more along the lines of units that we might use in science class instead of thinking English class. So in America, in the USA, we might measure something and it would be strictly an English unit versus something we might use in England or South America or something that would be a unit a scientist might use. There might be metrics. Let me word it that way. It might be a metric unit. Can you think about, Trevor?
We use miles.
Sure. Miles would be English. All right. Can anybody give me another one? All right, Fahrenheit. So Celsius would go where? Would go where? Yeah, I would go down here. Can anybody give me another English? How do you buy milk? That's English. You pour it into a what? Our shoes are put on our football fields are measured in. Okay, all of those things are English. All right, now, can you give me something that would be metrics?
Kilometers.
Sure. Anybody else? Anybody?
Meters.
Sure. Just be brave. We don't shoot people if they're wrong. We don't laugh. Don't injure them. Sure. Inches would fit where? That's English. It's a good try, though. I like the brave answer. Anybody else? Centimeters is good. Good, Grace. Anybody else?
Ounces.
All right, ounces is going to be English. Thank you for trying and answering me. Can I get another one?
Millimeter.
Yep. How do you buy soft drinks? Yeah. What size? Liters. I was looking for the 2-liter answer. Okay. Ounces is already up there as English. All right. Everybody got that so far? All right. Because we're going to switch this up a little bit. Now, since we're talking about metrics, how many of y'all remember metrics from elementary school? All right. Let me ask it this way. Back in elementary school, one of your teachers probably taught you a cute saying to help you remember metrics. Does anybody remember the cutesy saying you learned? Probably has something to do with milk. Not a queen. I heard king. Y'all are so shy. Because I don't believe it's that barren out there in student land. All right, King, Henry. Anybody else? Died. By. There you go. Drinking chocolate milk. I heard it out there. Somebody remembered it. Y'all remember it now that it's been written up there?
No, I grew up in Jersey. They never did this.
Okay. Now, anybody remember what the letters stand for? Kilo, good. All right, Henry. That was hecto. Died. Deca. By. That's the baseline. Drinking. That's deci. And then chocolate. Centi. And milk. That's milli. All right. Does that look even remotely familiar?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you would have also learned some abbreviations to go with them and what things might be on the baseline. We're going to talk about 3 things that are on the baseline that we're going to use. Okay? 2 of them you gave me on the previous board and one we're going to add. Okay? I'm going to cruise back here for just a second. Can anybody tell me what 2 things you listed right here in metrics that are on the baseline? And 2 things are through here that are on the baseline? Meters is 1. Meters and what? Not centimeters. Liters. Okay. See how this has centi on it? That's why it's not on the base. Liters is on the base, and meters is on the base. All right, so meter goes here. Liter goes here. And gram goes there. Gram is the other one that we're going to add. Okay? Meter, liter, and gram. Now, does anybody remember the abbreviation for kilo? What do you think? Okay, good. What do you think the abbreviation is for hecto? H. All right, we're going to skip deca and deci for a second. What's centi? Uh-huh. And milli? All right. So the two that have D's, how do you suppose we are going to abbreviate two of them that start with the same letter? What are you going to do there? Huh? One of them's going to have a second letter. Okay, so one of them's just going to be D. Which one do you think is going to be just D? Nope, got the wrong one. Deci's just the D. All right, so deca gets a second letter. Deca gets D and A. Okay? D-A. Now, every time we abbreviate, we always do it in the same fashion. Okay? It's always a prefix and a base. Now, you can have a prefix with a base, or it can just be a base. Can you have just a prefix? Can you have just a prefix? No. Okay? So, if I write D-A-M, okay, this is the prefix, and this is the base. You got Ms. Thornhills, Ms. Bostix, and Mr. Morris.
I don't see Miss Thornhill. See on Miss Wall. I don't see Miss Thornhill.
I thought those were the only ones we had left.
Where's Miss Wall?
That's Miss Wells.
Miss what?
Miss Wells.
You got one?
I already got one.
Wrong. You want to get another one?
Sure, if you're going to give me one.
Don't say anything.
I won't say anything.
Y'all be quiet. I'll get Miss Wallace another one.
I think we
I promise you, if she needs more, she gets more. All right. So, what does DA mean? Means deca. And what does M mean? Means meter. Okay, deca meter. Everybody okay with that? Now, what if I only write an M by itself? Okay, if it's just one letter by itself, this would just be a base. So that would stand for what? That would be meter, okay? It doesn't have to have a prefix. It always has a base. Does that make sense? Okay. Most of the time you'll see both. So, everybody got it? Because I'm going to give you about 3 to practice. Everybody's done writing because I see some people writing. All right, do those real quick. Yeah. Okay. That way if I call on you, you know the answer. CG. My cursor's in the way. Okay.
And then we still have that whole.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, that's a blessing.
I took it as such.
Yes.
All right. So, Jose, what is CG? Can you tell me? If you're wrong, I don't shoot people. Give me your best guess. What's the C stand for? Can you tell me that? If you look right there, what's the C stand for? Centi. And what's the G stand for? Centigram. Good. That's how you do it. Okay, you with me? Okay. DL. Urelli? Is that right? Did I say it right? Do I have the right face to go with the right name? Is that you? Okay. What's DL? Yeah. So you said, let's see, it's D, and then leave it, right? Is that how you do it? That's right. All right, let me have another face. All right. What was your name? Diavio. All right, Diavio. What is HM? Hectometers, that's right. All right, questions? Anybody? We okay with that? Yes, no? Anybody not okay with it? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not, tell me. I can't fix what I don't know. Okay. All right. So, we're going to finish with, before we practice, we'll make a chart. And then I'm going to make you go to the board and drag some stuff around for our first practice. All right. All right, are we there? Do I need to wait? Where are we at? All right, we're going to start with length. Tell me what you know. Equipment or unit? I'll take either. I want as many units that we would use in class as you can give me. Not English. Okay? No English units. And what piece of equipment would we use? All right, a ruler. I like that. And I'll take any other piece of equipment we might use either. Ruler is good. Huh? Yeah. Okay. What else? So what? Centimeters? What else?
Right.
All right, hold on to mass for a second. Tell me what this is called.
Hard to say.
All right, I heard two answers. I heard yardstick and I heard meter stick. Which one do you think I would have? Meter stick. Okay. Y'all will use those this semester too. Okay. Can you give me another unit that we might use up there? Yesterday I had to go to Winston. I have y'all are going to love this. I have what's called geographic tongue. If you look at my tongue, I have this weird pattern on my tongue. It's just bizarre. If any of you have ever heard of it, you can Google it later if you want to. Anyways, and it's also really problematic with spicy foods, which really sucks because I love Mexican food. Anyhow, I had to go to Winston. So how would we measure the distance it took me to get to Jonestown Road to the doctor at Wake Forest Baptist? I actually see a guy who works at Cornell in New York City. How would we measure the distance it took me to get there? What would be the best unit to use to measure how far it was? Okay, miles would be English. So what would be a nice way to measure it in a science unit that scientists would use? Kilo what? Yes. So kilometers. Can you give me one more unit that we might use besides kilometers and centimeters? Look at your metrics. Millimeters, sure. All right, now let's go to mass. All right, we take mass. What's a unit we might use for mass? Or a piece of equipment? Grams. Okay, grams is a great unit. Now, how can we alter gram? Do what? I heard it. All right, we get called a scale, and it's not wrong to say a scale. But scale is really generic, okay? We want to be a little more specific. Can anybody read the name that's on those things that are on the counter? There we go. That's what we're going to use, okay? The scales that y'all are going to use are called triple beam balances. Triple beam balances. Now, is there anybody in here who's not learned how to read a triple beam balance the correct way? Okay. I got Grace. I got
top.
say it again. Diabia. I told you, it might take you 3 or 4 days, but I will get it. You got to keep saying it for me, and I will get it. It helps if I can see it too. Okay? Now, Diabia. If you don't know how to read the scale, do not panic. Tomorrow I'm going to walk us through the steps. And you're going to do it yourself. And if you get to the counter and you're like, I can't do it, call me over there and we'll do it. Okay? Because you got to be able to do it by Monday when you do the lab or you're going to screw it up. Okay? And we're going to use these multiple times throughout the semester. So you got to be able to read the maths. So, how else can we alter maths so we get another unit for maths? Because not all of our calculations this semester are going to be in grams. There's a much more common unit that we're going to see over and over again in our calculations. That's English.
Oh.
Say with grams. Nope. Pounds is English. You gotta stay in grams.
Yes, thank you.
Gotta stay in grams. Remember. You want to alter grams using these. That's why we just did this. So how do you change grams? Using those. Add a prefix. Which prefix do you think we should add? Yes, kilogram is the one we will see over and over and over again in the word problems. Okay, now you could have just as easily to have made me happy said kilograms, or sorry, kilograms, you just said centigrams, hectograms, decograms. I'd have been happy with any of them. Okay, if you'd have said HG or DAG, I'd have been happy with any of them. because it would have shown me you knew to put a prefix on the front of it. That's all I wanted. Just like up there in length, you put centimeters, kilometers, and millimeters. You put a prefix on meters. That's all I was looking for. Okay? So volume. What's the unit for volume? Liters. Okay? So when we do this one, we're going to use liters. All right, so how are we going to alter the unit for liters? Huh? So add a prefix. Give me one. H, HL. Give me another one. Somebody besides, what did you tell me your name was? Markel. I thought it was Markel, but I didn't want to say it wrong. KL. ML. Yeah. Now we got the hang of it. All right, so what piece of equipment are we going to use to find volume? They're on the back table. I didn't set them out because somebody uses my room first period, and I'd already gotten the scales out making enough noise. So they're not a measurement cup or a beaker. They have a specific name. The beaker is back here, but we're not going to use the beaker. That's not used to find volume. It's actually this thing. Anybody know what that is? What is the shape of it called? It's a cylinder, and it's got these marks on it, so it's called what? It's graduated, all right? It's a graduated cylinder because it's got numbers on it, all right? It's called a graduated cylinder, and you're going to read it tomorrow too. Okay, so a graduated graduated cylinder. All right, time should be an easy one for us. That one should be a breeze. All right, tell me about time. Okay, a clock. We're also going to use what else? What? What did you say? What kind of watch? Yeah. Sometimes they'll let you use your phones for this because most of you have stopwatch or timer apps on it, and some of my stopwatches are hard to use. All right, so what units are we going to use for this? Sure, hours. What else? Minutes? Sure. All right. Now, temperature. Fahrenheit? Celsius. Okay? Now, how do we measure it? Now, for all of you who cannot spell thermometer, it's spelled thermo. Okay? Thermo. And then meter. It's thermo and then meter. So for those of you who cannot spell thermometer, it's just a thermo and then meter. You with me on that? Yeah. Now we're going to practice. Because that's all the notes we're going to take today. Everything else we're going to do today is practice. Now, all that stuff we just wrote down is on your quiz Friday. Other than being able to read the equipment that we'll do tomorrow. All right, everybody got what they need? All right. So, you got all this stuff that's down here, right? You're going to grab one of them and drag it to the right spot, wherever it goes. You're going to stick it where it goes. Okay? Drag it where it goes. Okay? The yellow one's kind of hard to see. Drag it where it goes. Okay? I'm going to go grab my seating chart so I can start working on learning some names. Maybe not. Just grab my list here. I got some neat written names. All right. All right. Isella, say it for me.
Isella.
Isella. I can make some phonetic notes here. Yes. All right. Derek. That's Derek. Anyone you want. It's the joy of being one of the early people picked. Okay. All right. Let me go with O'Tonnell. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Now, this is where y'all correct me if I do it wrong. Otherwise, you just reinforce my ability to say it wrong. I think I'm kidding y'all. I called Luis Lewis for like 6 weeks before somebody told me I was doing it wrong last semester. All right. All right, Mario. All right, Jose, and then what's the Jose? Okay. How about Jose? You just be careful of the cord when you go that way because there's a loop that sticks out. Did you still get it? Okay. All right. How about Grace? Y'all like that sound? Diavion.
Yeah.
Diavion. All right, good. All right, how about Nigeria? Okay. Elizabeth. Okay. How about Malik? Good. All right. How about Markel? Okay. How about Eduardo? You got this. about Joseph? Good. About Trevor? Okay, that one we haven't talked about. So that one's tricky.
Mhm.
That says cubed on it.
Yeah.
That means it's a centimeter by a centimeter by a centimeter. Does that mean anything to you in math class? Because we hadn't talked about that one. That's my fault.
It's cubed.
It's cubed. So that's like a cube. So what would a cube be? Yeah. And you're, yeah, you could get that one. All right. And remind me, and I'll talk about that one in a minute. Because I'll forget if you don't remind me. I'm counting on you. All right. We got two more. So that means I got to repeat somebody. How about who? Oh yeah, I ain't got Tyler. There we go. Way to call him down, Joseph. Thank you for helping. Snitches don't get stitches in here, by the way. They help keep those walls straight. All right. Did I miss anybody else? Or did I get everybody? All right. So how about Grace? Grace. Urelli won.
No.
Urelli.
You're up there.
All right, Urelli. I thought I got her. All right.
You were slick.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Questions. All right. So to go back to the one that Trevor and I were talking about. All right. If you remember, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow. All right. When you remember math class, what's the formula for volume? Anybody remember? We're going to talk about this tomorrow. But does anybody remember today? I know it's been a long time. Teacher class. She's got earth science right now. She blind? All right, it's length times width times height, right? So if you multiply a centimeter times a centimeter times a centimeter, you get centimeters cubed. So anytime you see something that has a cubed on it, it's a volume. And we're going to work with that probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it'll be Friday. Okay, y'all are going to be a little ahead of fourth period today because y'all will always have a regular class where fourth period may not because of fourth period typically gets cut or last semester. Well, it's the same. Simply because they just do. All right, now for the rest of our time, we're going to practice with what we've been working on. Let me get a couple volunteers. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you get some what? Yeah. 7, come here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'll take care of the rulers, the y'all can read. And yes. All right. Part of what we're going to do tomorrow is going to require you to use a ruler. Where are my hands? My volunteers. You two come here. 2 of you. I don't care which 2. 2 of you. Here. You do this. You do this. Here, Grace. You hand out the paper. There's 3 of you. And your hands up.
I think there might be a few extra.
After that, we switch. Yes.
Oh, wait. So we just want to make it.
No. When we leave at 150, you're done with me for the day. We have third lunch every day, so when we leave for lunch, you will not come back to me.
Yeah, actually, oh,
You will always leave and go to lunch, and then you will not come back.
it's normal.
You will go on the fourth, you will go on the fourth period every day.
It's just like last semester.
I was thinking
I had,
that.
pretty sure I had.
Second lunch?
Are you sure?
Pretty sure you get real lunch or something.
Did you have lunch at Farms Bobby?
Oh,
Now, the only way you would come back to me is if you had second lunch.
Third.
Did y'all have second lunch?
No.
Okay. If you had third lunch, it works like third lunch.
Did you have lunch right before Bobby?
I did. I went back.
I just asked you if you had lunch, right? Before Bobby, right?
Now, if you had second lunch, then y'all went back to the teacher.
You know, I have.
But we have third lunch. So, since we have third lunch, when the bell rings at 1:50, y'all go to lunch and then you go fourth period after lunch. Okay, so you will not come back to me anytime we have lunch. Okay, we're a third lunch group, unfortunately. Sorry. So we do the whole hour and a half and then you're done with third period. You only have one class left when you come back to lunch. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, so we're gonna try to answer the questions with this using a ruler. Now, before you even start, does everybody know which side is centimeters? This entire semester, we're on the centimeter side, okay? Not the inches side, centimeters, okay? If you don't know what side is centimeters, stick your hand in the air and I will come to you, okay? But nobody should be on the inches side. Okay, so you're gonna draw some lines, and then you're gonna measure some things on the paper. Yes. Use your pencil. I will roll them up to you and help you out if you get stuck. Okay. 10 millimeters. Millimeters. Out there. Notice in 3B, it was millimeters, not centimeters. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you count those little itty bitty lines. You count all the way to 10 and you count the 10. But this one you don't count. That's the initial start line. So start 1 and count all 10. Yeah. All right, so when you're doing 10 millimeters, those these are centimeters. So when you did that, you were centimeters. Millimeters are these EB lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be 10 centimeters. Or millimeters right there. Okay, so erase that. Make it a little shorter. Yes. All right, what part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter? 1 millimeter is one of how many? How do you write 1 out of 10? Yep. Who else has a question for me? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so go back to this. How many millimeters are there in 1 centimeter? So, this is 1 centimeter, right? The actual line, centimeter are 1 centimeter. Yes, count that. You just don't count that because that's like the start. You count there, all the way to there. So, what part of the incentive is one out of how many? One out of you read right. You do it right. You do it right. Most people do fraction. Yes, sir. Okay, so 10 millimeters. Millimeters are these itty bitty lines. Here, starting here, and counting 10 itty bitty lines. Okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Since you know that you're talking about 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is one out of how many? Well, how many parts are there in the same? So it's one out of. How do you write one out of? Yeah. You could do that. Most people don't write it that way, but I would take that. You could do that, or most people write one like that. Or you could even have said, like, one, two, and oh, any of those three would be fine. I would take any of them. You done? Just hang it. Just one of them. It doesn't matter. You can length and width do not matter. Okay? Most people tend to make the longer side length and the shorter side width, but realistically, it makes absolutely no difference. Okay? Mathematically, there is no right answer to length and width. And I have checked with the math teacher just to make sure I was not wrong. Just hang on to it, because we're going to go over it most likely tomorrow because there are several people still working. And I don't have time to finish. And like I said, we're ahead of 4, so we'll have time to go over it tomorrow. Sure. Okay. Do you have your hand up? Your hand up. That's it. Oh, hang on. Oh, that. Yes. Yeah, it's about 4 minutes. Now, if you're finished, hang on to your paper. If you're not finished, you've still got about 4 minutes. So I know how long you've got time. We work to pretty close to the bell. If you are finished, hand grace your ruler.
What time's it going?
1:50. Yeah, lunch and our third lunch starts at 1:50. Yeah, we're third lunch. Yeah, yeah, we're third lunch. We get to go eat at 1:50. We start with that. That's late for lunch. I'm get to eat my sandwich. It's all good.
Are you giving me a paper experience?
How was I?
How was it?
It's okay. I just would like to have known, so I could set up my lab yesterday instead of trying to move scales around while he was in here, because I would have done that, while he was trying to do his thing. I can grade papers and work at my desk quietly, so I don't disturb him during
I'm
the
sure it
period.
wasn't a disturbance.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it, if I'd done it in advance. I just try hard not to disrupt people if I know in advance.
Sure. Well, this is all kind of been.
Yeah. All right, so you didn't finish the paper. It's okay. We're going to go over the answers tomorrow. But if you have a ruler still, make sure you put it on my desk. All right? If you want to join Remind, please do that. All right? You have to download the app. I would love for more people to join Remind. Tomorrow we will do an activity. So you'll be up and out of your desk. It will be a grade. So if you're not here tomorrow, you will miss your first actual lab grade. We will take a quiz on Friday. So if you're not here Friday, you will miss an actual quiz grade. Maybe that reminds me, y'all. It's not left on the counter to be that clean up. All right? So this is what I'm talking about. If you're out a lot, you miss grades. Today is one of the few days I'm not taking a grade. I grade a lot of stuff. Okay? So keep that in mind. And for God's sakes, don't get in trouble with this class and wind up in ISS or Jack Academy.